reposted my video and added it to their Instagram because I showed how to make an app, a music making app with GPT-5 in a few steps. What you're hearing right now, that background beat, that is literally a drum sample that I just made with GPT-5. The entire interface. And it has the ability to customize drums, snares, hi-hats. You can play with arps and chords. Take a look. This is the app that I just built with GPT-5. 2 prompts, 2 freaking prompts. Let's zoom in and explore. So first off, you got the kick drums up here, right? You got kick. So we can change it by just clicking up here. So now no kicks, right? Now it's just snares and hi-hats. Let's do a bunch of kicks. Kick and kick. Kick, kick. There we go. Just like that, you have yourself a drum machine. And now you can take, oops. So we're gonna make some more apps today using GPT-5. You can tune in, and then I'll probably make shorter videos around the apps that we build today. But I'm thinking of making like a 3D modeler tool. Yeah, I wanna build like a 3D modeling tool, and then I want to build something, you'll see. We'll kind of just explore. Welcome to the live stream. OpenAI just reposted. So this is OpenAI's Instagram account. They have 2.9 million followers, and they just reshared my video that I made maybe like 15 minutes ago. So I just posted this up like 15 minutes ago, and then OpenAI just reshared it on their page because I know what I'm talking about. Let's get into it. So let's make a new app. I'm gonna start off a brand new chat. Okay, oh, where's the, there it goes, okay. So we're gonna start off a new chat and build a new thingamabobs. Yep, that is what we're gonna do. Okay, so first, what's that? What was that? So you're trying to create a beat for music? Oh no, that was, I built the whole tool. That entire tool was built using prompts. I just gave it 2 different prompts. They were very basic prompts. I'm actually kind of blown away by how little specification I needed to give GPT-5 to make that. Okay, now let's make a brand new app. So I go into ChatGPT and make sure that you're running the latest ChatGPT version 5. That's the one that we're using today. And I'm gonna go in and give it my prompt. And the ask anything thing, we're gonna go ahead and give it a prompt. So I'm gonna say, let me flip the camera back to me. I use my voice to type. So I use an app called Super Whisper, and it lets me speak it really fast, and then it will turn that into writing, and then I can use that to code. So here we go. I would like to create a 3D modeling app that uses basic isometric principles, and whenever you click in the 3D sphere, sorry, the 3D plane, it will generate new pieces of cube geometry. Think of it kind of like building Minecraft, but like not a game. And you can use your mouse cursor to move around the 3D plane. You can click and tap. If you click and hold, you can draw a shape that snaps to different parts of the grid. And then afterwards, you can animate a camera that rotates around the entire object so that you can render new views of your thing. I also want there to be a light control, like a sunlight, where you can change the exact orientation of the sun and have cast shadows that are on the geometry. Probably code this in 3JS or whatever seems like you can code it here. And I also want there to be cheesy sound effects added to my app so that when you click, it makes little cute sounds of clicking or popping or button pushes. And I would like this app made, and let's make it happen. Okay, so it's not listening to me anymore. I'm using GPT-5 right now to make new apps. I see my dad just joined the stream. Dad, I just posted a video like 10 minutes ago, and OpenAI, which has like 3 million followers on Instagram, they just reshared my video. I made this beat. I just made this with the brand new GPT-5, and I'm gonna show you how I did it in just a few prompts. So first off, I have this like drum kit, and if I hit the play button, you can see that's the kick drum, boom, 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 boom. I basically built like a Reason drum machine in 10 minutes or less. Kick, kick. And so now I'm showing people on the live stream how you can basically build any app that you have in your mind just like that. All right, so I'm gonna paste my prompt. That was the entire prompt that I just recorded. So again, the prompt was, I would like to create a 3D modeling app that uses basic isometric principles. And whenever you click in the 3D sphere, the 3D plane, it will create a new piece of cube geometry. Think of it kind of like Minecraft, but not a game. And you can use your mouse cursor to move around the 3D plane. You can click and tap. If you click and hold, you can draw a shape that snaps to different parts of the grid. And then afterwards, you can animate a camera that rotates around the entire object so that you can render new views of your thing. I also want there to be a light control like a sunlight where you can change the exact orientation of the sun and have cast shadows that are on the geometry. Simply code this in Three.js or whatever seems like you can code it in here. And I also want there to be a cheesy sound effects added to my app so that whenever you click, it makes little cute sounds of clicking, popping, or button pushes. And I would like this app made, and let's make it happen. So that was my prompt, this multi-sentence prompt. And then you can see GPT-5 is already just coding away. And it is still coding. In fact, if we zoom in here, look at that. It's just crunching out the code. One thing I really, really like about, GPT-5 just launched like an hour ago. It's out, and I'm using it right now. And what I really like about it is they have this option up here, thought for 3 seconds. You can actually see its thoughts. It actually shows you its chain of thought reasoning. Oh, it says it's done. Really? Okay, so here's the code. Oh, sorry, it looks like it's still typing. So we're already, 200 lines of code in, and it's still writing. Look at that. That's pretty remarkable, really. We're still coding. We're 285 lines of code, 287, 288. Oh wow, we're in the 300s. We're in 300 lines of code. And it explains everything. It adds comments, so it's like, oh, this will let you add and remove the cube helpers. This thing is a scene state. And this thing, anything with a double slash is a comment. And I love how GPT-5 is smart enough to know that I don't know how to code. So it leaves lots of comments for me to understand, oh, these are the styles it's coming from. Great. And I can see that it's choosing different colors to make the interface for the user interface and the design. We got a question from the comments. Let's go ahead and take a look. Island says, Aesthetic VR says, oh my God, GPT-5 is out? Yes. Imaginary Local writes, once you get this app coded, where do you run it? You can run it right in the chat. That's a new thing. You can run the code right in the chat and then export it. I can share the chat with somebody, and then it's almost like I'm sharing the app. Okay, it looks like it ran, or at least it looks like it's done. I'm gonna click run code to, live. So we have not tested this app out yet. It may not work, but who knows? Up in the top corner, there's an option that just says run code. And this will let you run the code that you just wrote with GPT-5 right inside the canvas. So I'm gonna click it in 3, 2, 1. It says isometric voxel builder React 3 installing packages. Whoa, okay, I got a bunch of errors. Undefined is non-object evaluate. Okay, so I don't know any of this stuff. I'm gonna run the code again. It says it's initializing. It's cool, it made like a little loading screen. Just gonna let it load. Hopefully it gets further than here. Looks like it's stuck. Maybe this is not the right coding language to code it in. What I'm gonna do to fix this is I would just screenshot all of these errors. Looks like it's the same error over and over again. So I'm gonna hit stop, and I'm just gonna screenshot these errors and just paste it right into GPT-5 and see if it can fix, I don't know how to code, but I know how to screenshot, which is basically the same thing in 2025. So I'm gonna screenshot all of these error codes. I'm gonna drag these screenshot, where is it? I'm gonna drag the screenshot. Wait, where did the screenshot go? There it is. I'm gonna drag it right back into the chat. There it goes. So I just dragged, I made it a screenshot and dragged it right back into the chat. No other context was given. And then with that, we're just gonna hit send. So I just sent, there it is. I sent the errors that I was getting to GPT-5, and let's see what it's thinking. So it says, I'm thinking longer to get a better answer. And so let's just let it do its magic. And by magic, I really mean code. Certain perks of paid and pro though they are on the list on their site. Oh, I don't know what that means. All right, looks like it's coding. It says isometric voxel builder, React, and 3. And I see a loading screen. Is it doing stuff over here? Oh yeah, it's coding right now. Okay, so we're getting all these new lines. Let me click run the code. Are we still stuck here? I'm gonna hit refresh on this this chat. Maybe that will help it. Let me reload. All right, it reran. Let's go run the code. Okay, and we got some errors. Okay, okay, sorry, it is still rewriting. So look at that. It's going back and it's editing the code that it wrote, and it's fixing stuff. Again, I don't understand any of this because I am not a developer. I am a vibe coder. I had a vibe and I'm explaining it. So the vibe I wanted to kind of build an isometric voxel builder tool that lets me rotate cameras around it. It could, you know what could have helped? I could have given it a screenshot. I forgot to mention this. If you want to code even better inside of GPT-5, it works so well with images. So if you draw out, even on a piece of paper, or even in the dirt, like literally get a stick, draw in the dirt an app that you want built, like the interface for it, and then say, I want an app that does this. It will go and it'll code it for you. If it sees a picture of what you're going for, it understands like, oh, that's what you're trying to build. And then it can go build it. It's quite remarkable that we're at this point in time. Now this app that I'm trying to make right now is getting some errors. I think it's user error. It's my bad. I'm probably giving it too much stuff. I don't know if it likes 3JS. I assumed it could code in 3JS, but maybe that's the wrong assumption. I'm gonna see if I can build it in HTML instead. So let me just give it that prompt and see if we can fix this by coding it in a different language. All right, so there's the app, and I'm just gonna say, hey, I don't know too much about code, but can you just build this in HTML instead? Okay, it's thinking about it. You know, if you ask that to a normal developer, that would stress them out, because usually developers might be good at like 1, maybe 2 languages, but then this thing, you know, it knows all the languages. Yeah, getting diagram with motion marks works best. Getting diagram with motion marks. Oh, interesting. Looks like it's still doing its thing. I'm gonna go copy my prompt from earlier and make a new chat thread, paste it. I'm gonna say, please code this in either React or HTML5. Don't do 3JS because I don't think that will work. Okay, so now I have 2 different chat threads going because, okay, maybe it should be built using Visual Basic C++. Oh, I've heard of those languages. I can just give it that prompt. All right, so it says it's getting an HTML5 app. It says I'll incorporate the orientation of the sliders in the azimuth and 11th. Okay, so it looks like it's going for HTML now. It thinks it can do it out of HTML5 with no 3JS, which is cool. Let's see if it can do it. It's crunching out the numbers. It's writing some code. It starts off by doing a lot of the user interface. And then I see it writing some more words and letters that I don't understand. And now we're at 50 lines of code. Okay, now we're at 75 lines of code. I mean, God, this thing, for context, I would say that GPT-5, it codes at the speed of the hackers in the movies. You know what I mean? Like a lot of movies from the 90s, they would have like hackers that would go onto like the computer, right? They'd be like, I'm into the mainframe. You know what I mean? Have you raised your hand raise your hand, leave an emoji if you've seen one of those movies where like a hacker nerd goes like, and then they're in, like to the mainframe, they're able to hack. If you've seen that, go ahead and leave an emoji. But the thing is, GPT-5 writes code as fast as those hackers did in the movies. Like, the hackers weren't actually typing that fast. They would kind of speed it along for cinema. But this thing is actually, we just crunched through 300 lines of code right now. Okay, I see Benna put a laughing face emoji. Filtro wrote a hand emoji for saying yes, they've seen that. Cybera put a fire emoji. So you've all seen these two, where it's like, you get these hackers that can hack the mainframe by going, I'm in, right? This thing, GPT-5, actually codes that fast. It writes apps as fast as the hackers in the movies. In fact, let's see, how many lines of code are we at right now while I was talking? We're at 303, 306, 307 lines of code. It's still writing, so we still got a lot more. Okay, just boom, crunching through the numbers. Bada bing, bada boom. Do you think we're gonna get into, do you think it's gonna be 500 lines of code to make this app that I have in my brain? What's your estimate? I think it's gonna be 560. That's my guess. I think we're gonna be at 560. Everybody guess a number. How many lines of code do you think GPT-5 is writing to make my idea come to life? My guess is gonna be 560 lines of code. What's your guess? What's your guess? Neurons to algorithms, for real. It really is fusion. All right, we're at 426, 420. Okay, Joe says it's 740. Wow, 780. Okay, you guys are way past what I thought. So I think you're both right. Okay, Fusion says 600. Dang. Okay, 675 from Benna. We have a lot of different options. I'm still gonna lean towards 560. I still think 560 is gonna be my app. Oh, we're at 5. Oh no, we're at 487. Andre says 100 million. Are you kidding? None of my app. Okay, we just finished. We're all wrong. It just finished the. It's 494 lines of code. I know it. That's the end of it. Okay. Moment of truth. I'm gonna flip the screen here. Moment of truth. Will this app run? So we first tried coding it in 3JS. It caused a lot of errors. So then I gave it the same prompt and I told GPT-5, can you just write this app in HTML instead? So let's see if it did it. I don't know. I'm gonna click on the run code button in the upper right-hand corner and we'll see what we get. Here we go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I heard a cool sound. I'm gonna zoom in. Grid size. Okay. Whoa. Okay, I don't understand what I'm doing, but it looks kind of cool. Sun azimuth. Oh wow, they actually added lighting. Sun elevation. Whoa, it actually got the lighting. Randomized colors. Okay, I don't know if this is what I wanted to build. Let me click spin. Whoa! Whoa, it's kind of working in its own way. Wow, I've never seen 3D in HTML. That's actually such a tremendously complicated ask, and GPT-5 was able to do it. And it added sounds like I wanted. Let's see, I changed the lighting angle. No. Azimuth. Grid size. Let me hit clear. Let's redo this. I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm going to give it some notes because I might have broken it. Let me go ahead and refresh this. Okay, so I reloaded it. I'm gonna run my code of the 400 and something, and then let's go ahead and click mode erase, mode add, hit spin on. Okay, so it looks like it's spinning. The clicking isn't doing anything, but when I right click and drag, it moves something along the plane. Interesting, I don't understand. Oh, you can zoom in. That's cool. Whoa. All right, let's do a sun angle. Okay, yes, you can kind of change the sun angle. You can change the elevation of the lighting source. I like that. Let's play with that color palette. Let's go with green. Okay, so now I'm able to add stuff. This is cool. This is not what I wanted, but it's what I needed. Oh, if you click and drag, you can draw larger shapes out here. Wow. This is cool. Okay, I'm starting to get the hang of this weird app that I built. Let's turn spinning off. Can you build on? Oh wow, you can build on top of stuff. This is cool. Let me see if I can get some different colors in here. Let's go to randomize. Oh, it's too dark. I can't really see that. Let's keep randomizing it. Wow, it actually kind of works. It's weird, but I've never seen this before. But yeah, it's kind of working as I would like it to some degree. It's definitely a weird app. You know, not exactly what I wanted, but oh, there we go. We got some new colors. Let's see what happens if I erase. Wow. No, this is GPT-5. I don't know what exactly I built, but I kind of love it. It's pretty weird. I'm a fan of weird. It's cool. As I zoom in, it kind of creates this like swirling effect, which I'm a fan of. Whoa, 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 whoa. Can you build another one? Yeah, let me build something else. Cool. That's my first 3D looking app on this new platform. Let's build something else. Wow, it's like an optical illusion on my brain. Oh, it said build Tron. Okay, I can do that. I'm gonna make a new chat. And I'm going to turn the camera to me while I'm talking, since it's just going to be writing text. So I'm going to speak it. I would like to create a Tron video game that is very much in the aesthetic of 1983 computer game graphics, complete with all of those cool sounds. The sounds sound like retro 80s games. Think Atari. In this game, you are a speeding bike and you're playing against an AI. And you're trying to collect points and play Tron, and you're also trying to cut them off. You're going to be using WASD on your keyboard to control the player. And you'll get special power-ups like speed boosts and extra lives as you survive in the game. Each level, the AI gets harder and harder. And then there's a game over thing that has a cool game over sound effect that plays. We want a lot of particles to happen when a collision happens. Like when you cut off somebody in Tron and they collide, we want to create that animation. We want to see particles. We want to hear the particles burst. And we need the interface to look good on a desktop computer, which is where we're playing. Okay, so that's my prompt. Let's go ahead and see if it can code that up for us. So I'm going to hit send, and the game has begun. So we wait for GPT-5 to think, which is not that long. It's pretty fast. This is thinking longer for a better answer, okay? So we need a code of 2D Tron game. Following the user instructions, I'll create a code in HTML, JS, and Canvas. Oh, there it goes. All right, so now it's starting. It opened up a new canvas and it's starting to write the Tron game in HTML. It's the Light Cycle 1983 edition. It came up with a margin, height, and background color, a font family, and some, paneling. I see that it's defining a scorecard. I see that it has WASD to steer and avoid trails. You can grab power-ups. It's configuring the canvas now. And it looks like it's making a UI. So it's going to have a UI score, a UI for level, a UI for lives, a UI for the AI, and some kind of center document. So what is GPT-5? It's the latest model from OpenAI, and this thing they basically increased its brain, so it's a lot smarter. It's also a lot faster, and it can handle a lot more complicated tasks. In terms of reasoning, it reasons much better. It also writes incredibly nuanced now. Apparently, I haven't tested this out yet, but apparently it can write really well. Not just like, it won't sound as AI-y, it will sound more like a unique written perspective. I haven't tried that out yet. I've just been trying to build apps. So far we built a music making app where you can set a drum machine and sequence it and play kicks, snares, and hi-hats. Then I made a 3D viewer app that we just made a moment ago that was kind of not working great. Now we're trying to make a Tron video game with sound effects. And it's still coding. It's still coding right now. If I look at the lines of code, we're looking at... Okay, we're at 142 lines of code right now as I'm talking. But yeah, that's what we're working on here. Oh, thank you so much, Mehdi. Been with me since GPT-3 days. Oh, the good old days. The good old days, the simpler times, the early AI days, the early generative AI days. Oh yeah, anytime, Andre, always happy to share. Okay, let's take a look. It is still coding. Let's see what we got in store here. We are now at around it just finished, 375 lines of code. Not bad. Let's go ahead and hit run the code. Whoa, okay, that's it. It works. I'm using WASD to move the controller. So if I hit S, I go down. If I hit D, I go right. So here's S, D. Wow, I made the game. Oh my God, this is freaking awesome. And you hear those sounds, right? All right, so I'm gonna see if I can cut off that guy. I'm the blue character. And then it looks like the red one. Actually, wait, I see power-ups way up there. You see at the top, there's like a green thing. I'm gonna see if I can grab that. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that did. Let me grab the yellow one. Okay, I missed it. Let's see if I can just, cut off the guy. There we go. Oh, you're dead. Whoa, oh, I'm screwed. Oh, I screwed up. Oh, I'm gonna be dead then, huh? Crap. Yeah, there's no escape. Let me see what happens if I can pass through the wall. Nope, I died. Okay, so let's try the next one. I'm just gonna go straight for the attack. I'm gonna try to block off this fool. Can you make it a multiverse game? Multi-user game? Probably. I don't know how to code well enough, but I bet it can. Ah! I only have one more life left. Yeah, there we go. Okay, well it works though. And it has a cool down music. I wonder if it can make, I'm gonna ask it if it can add a theme song. Let me see if it can do that. I need there to be cheesy video game background music that plays while I'm playing the game to keep me in the spirits. Okay, so now it's going to, it says it's going to try to make music to put back there. We'll see what it does. Log says, Wild, I can't do this right now. It's not premium. What do you mean? Should be coming out soon. Beep, 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 beep. I wonder if I can make this game in 3D. Because I think it'd be better in 3D. Let me see if I can do that. Is GPT-5 live on there yet? Yeah, what's funny is GPT-5 for me is not loading up on the website. It's only loading on the desktop app. I'm using the Mac desktop app. Oh, whoa. Look at this. Retrotron Light Cycle is trying to connect to the network. If you don't recognize any of these requests, don't allow this app to access. Archive.org, download Atari 8-bit music. Wow, it wants to actually use the internet. Let's see if we can do that. So I just gave GPT-5. What's going on? I'm gonna refresh. Hitting refresh now. So I just gave GPT-5. I don't know what's going on. Let me see, is there a reload? Okay. I'm gonna run the code. Is that the music? If anyone should get access, should be you. I want more power. My ChatGPT sucks. You can pay for their services. Oh, it says I added looping. Wow, it actually added that while the game was running, so I technically didn't have to stop playing. Yeah, maybe it can add a multiplayer function. Let me see if it can do that. Actually, this background music is extremely distracting. Can you take it out? Let's see if it fixes that. Oh my goodness, so it just fixed it. That's cool. The background music has been completely removed from the game. All right. Now I would like the game to be in 3D. Same functionality, but 3D, 3D graphics and everything. All right, so before we had that 2D game, and now let's see if it turns it into a 3D game. So I just hit run, and now GPT-5 is thinking about what to do. Just thinking about what to do. You can click on that to see what it's thinking. Designing a WebGL 3D renderer, simplifying the faux 3D with Canvas. I'll define the camera's perspective and work on the bike, trail, and particle rendering. The next step is to code. Oh, is it done? Oh, I see it thinks down here in the bottom as well. Oh, actually, you know what's cool? It says updating. So instead of having to rewrite the app, it just updates your app. I like that. And then if I click on it, it can show me its thought process. Yeah. So for the 3D grid, I'll map each cell to world coordinates and keep the ground plane in place. For the camera, I'll either allow slow orbiting around the center. This is remarkable. Is it still writing? Wow, look at that. It's going through, and you see that GPT-5 is going through my game app code and just adjusting it. It's literally just updating the app based off of my new parameters. So I think this is what they're talking about by saying it has a lot of agentic principles. Log says, I have premium, maybe use a different AI for the music, LOL. Yeah, I'll probably what I'm really curious about is if I gave it an asset, like if I gave it a 3D model, if I gave it some music, if I gave it an animation that I made, could it use that in a game? That would be really cool. So I'm gonna try that next. But I'm still seeing, it's so cool seeing it go through and like make changes on its own code. It really has that kind of recursive self-improvement vibe where it's like, oh, let me just fix this way that my app was coded. All right, so now we're passing, so it's making an even longer code base. I'm gonna stop running the code here. All right, we're at 168 lines of code. Is it done? Oh no, it's not, still working. 175. This is so cool. There's a noise burst for particles, there's powers now. The AI that it coded, it says, okay, math random state AI return has a constraint direction of point of -1. I have no idea what this means. But it coded its own AI. Do we still need cursor? I don't know. I mean, the cursor CEO came up in the chat today. So not here, but like at the OpenAI event, they actually had the co-founder of Cursor come up and talk about how they've integrated GPT-5 into Cursor now, which is insane. So I bet you can do a lot more if you keep Cursor. But okay, it looks like the app is just finished. Let's see if it runs in 3D. Okay. I don't see anything. I hear stuff. Okay, so I think it is working. I think just the visibility is off. Let me go full screen. All right, I'm just gonna give it those notes. So I think it's working. I just couldn't see it. I think the game is working because I heard the sounds going through and the game over thing worked, but I don't see anything. So there might be some visual that is blocking the view. Can you make sure that the UI is nicely centered on the screen and will automatically resize to whatever screen size I have? So I'm just going to give it that note. So the one thing is they coded GPT-5 to have very much of a brain like a collaborator. So now more than ever, if you talk to GPT-5 like a collaborator, it actually performs better because they coded it, they trained it based off of what would make an ideal coding collaborator. And because that's how it's trained, that's what it's biased for. So that's actually a really useful bias, the fact that it prefers to be treated like a collaborator. So that means if you're good at collaborating with people in general, you know how to communicate, how to listen, how to support a fellow collaborator, then you will have an advantage working with GPT-5 and other AI models of this caliber. Whereas somebody who's not very good at collaborating and might struggle to communicate, with a team, they're probably not going to make the coolest stuff because they're just not a good collaborator in general. So now, human collaboration skills are going to translate quite well to AI collaboration skills. And in a few years from now, like under 10 years, these things are going to get a body too. Imagine when you can go ask your ChatGPT account to go do something for you, and it's not just on a computer screen, it's physical. Like I would love to have a robotic arm here attached to my desk that I could talk to, and I would love to just chat with that robotic arm to kind of build stuff together. Very much like the robotic arm that Iron Man had in his first movie, where he was kind of like collaborating in his garage and he had that super large industrial sized robotic arm. And then, go get me the remote. No, that's not my vibe. I don't want to use robotics to become lazier as a human. I would just use it to build stuff that I couldn't build physically. Like if I had like a super robotic arm that could lift like a few tons, I would make gigantic sculptures and I would sell them and package them and paint them, safely. I would love to build at different scales. Some people are going to use robots to be lazier. That is not going to be how I use robotics. That would be the opposite of my use. Cyber says, what will be the name of your robot? Oh, I don't know. I actually ordered one robot coming in later this month, if the shipping doesn't get delayed, from Hugging Face. They have a developer robotic kit, and I'm gonna start building my own robots. So now, and then this one can't physically walk around, but it has actuators for eyes. It can see. It has, you can turn on and off facial recognition. You can teach it voice commands. You can connect it with different large language models. What I was going to build with it is I'm going to try to build an AI agent that I can non-verbally communicate with, so that, I would love if, like, I have it on my desk, right? And then when I have a question, I train it to recognize when I want it to, like, explain something that was last spoken in, like, the last 20 seconds. I could just look at it and be like, and if it saw me make that face, it'd be like, oh, let me do a deep research on that thing that we last heard a moment ago. And then when it has the answer, instead of it just going and speaking right away, I would want to try to get my attention. I would love for it to, like, raise its little hand and wave at me and be like, I have an answer for you. And then when I acknowledge it, then it speaks. That's kind of what that's something I'm going to try to build in the next couple of months when the developer kit comes in. Okay, cool. Looks like the code is done. Let's go ahead and see what we made. All right, let's run the code. Okay, I don't see anything still. So I'm gonna try to help GPT along by giving it a screenshot of an interface. Is there a group chat where you can talk about the version of the future? This version of the future? Usually just my feed right here. That's usually what I do. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to find an image of a user interface that matches kind of the aesthetic. You also can create this with AI. You could also sketch this on paper. You could draw it in the dirt. Anything counts. Let's use a lot of let's use some human creativity here. And I'm gonna sketch out the user interface that I would like it to be in and see if it can, like, accommodate that. Because it would be great if it can keep the interface that I have in my mind, but I'm having difficulty getting GPT-5 to make the interface that I prefer right now. So I'll show you how I'll get it to make the interface that I do want. How do I do that? So let me just rotate this camera here. Are you able to see? Cool. So I'm just gonna open up the iPad here, and what I'm gonna do is, gotta type in the code. All right, so I'm just gonna draw what the interface I would like is. So I'm gonna go to new, and let's just do a new screen size. Okay, so the interface that I would like to have, if this is the screen, what's going on? It's not reacting to my pen. There it goes. All right, so I'm just gonna draw a rectangle to represent my screen. And then what I wanna see is, first off, it's all black. And then I want to have, like, a grid in there. So I'm gonna create a new layer. I'm gonna create a new white brush. We're gonna switch this to a texture grid. I'm just gonna fill this with a grid. Okay. Then what I wanna do with this grid is put it into the third dimension. So I'm gonna set this to distort. And we're gonna set that over here and make that like a horizon line. And then we're gonna push these guys like that. So this is a way of me kind of creating like an artificial grid that I would like to see. Great, and now we're going to freeform it and just scale it up. Cool, and then we're just gonna draw a little bike in red on a new layer. Let's just use a regular brush here. Cool, so this will be like a bike wheel, another bike wheel, a little bit of thickness there, a little rider, and then let's get some glowing lights on it. And let's make a little outfit in like a pinkish, orangish kind of color. There we go. And then let's just make sure that the light bike has some clear wheels. And then let's create that beam. Okay, so I'm gonna give GPT-5 this screenshot and say, I want this interface, and see if it can do it, you know? And then I also want the score to be in the top left corner, so I'm gonna make a new section here. And just write score. And number of lives. And if you still have a life, it'll be kind of like a filled in heart. And if you lost a life, it'll be an empty heart. Okay, cool. So that's the interface I would like for the game. And just screenshot that there. Okay. So now I'm just gonna, just screenshot this. And then I'm going to send this screenshot to ChatGPT, or I'll airdrop it to the laptop. There we go. All right, so now I gave it this screenshot. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to create a new chat thread using the same prompt as last time. There we go, new chat. So we're gonna start off the same prompt as last time. The only difference here is we're also gonna attach an image of the ideal user interface that we want. So hopefully that is enough context that it's like, oh, that's what you want, you know? That's what I'm betting on. So I'm gonna paste the exact prompt as before, and this time we're gonna attach this drawing that I did in Procreate into the prompt. So that we're given literally a visual, we're literally giving it a visual of what we want the ideal interface to be. And I think this will help it code a better app. Right? Because if it knows like, oh, you want that, not the other thing, then I think that should be good. So now it's making now I see it writing new code. And I'm hoping that because we gave it an image of what we want the app interface to look like, I'm hoping that this is enough context for GPT-5 that it's like, oh, you want a game like this. Gotcha. And then it makes it. So it's writing code. It thinks it can do it in HTML. We'll see. We'll see. What might be a good test is to run this through maybe a couple of times, but it's just writing out the code. Hopefully we have a cool functioning new app that likes the new interface. You know, it could work. It also could potentially not work. So we're just testing. But yeah, HTML without 3JS. I know, because I think 3JS would probably be preferred, but I think I need to do that on the web browser. But my web browser doesn't have GPT-5 yet. Only my phone app and my Mac desktop app had GPT-5 access. Oddly, my web account does not, because I would have preferred to do it on the website. but here we are. Yeah, I don't have GPT-5 there yet. All right, it's still coding. Looks like it's done. I'll hit run code. Okay, well, it made a nice interface, but it's not in 3D. Oh, I like the sounds. Let me restart. Okay. I don't understand. I don't know what's happening with blue. Okay, this app needs to be in 3D. Is there any way that you can make this look like it's in 3D? Thinking longer for a better answer. Okay, that's something. What do you got, chat? Says, oh, it's still thinking about how to approach this. I want to see its thought process. Okay, so maybe games aren't the best things to try to develop on here. It's something I'm kind of realizing. I might need to work on this a little bit longer or harder. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. I also still want to see if I can give it my own artwork and if it can use that in the game. Like, if you draw a character, will it use that character in the game? That would be really cool. But I don't know yet. So I might have to just keep playing with this. I would say I haven't had the most success in this live stream, so I apologize for that. Compared to where I had a lot of success with that beat making app. That thing just worked on like 2 prompts, whereas these video games, they're not working as fast. Maybe because they're just, oh, it's 3D now. Look at this. It did do it. It just tilted the hull. It's actually very creative. It's a very creative way of creating pseudo 3D. They made the app run on an angle. I love that. Awesome. Also, I want there to be the ability to try again. So we need to add a button to try again when you die. And we want this to look more like the Atari style. So for all those shapes that are flat, try to add like a ribbon function so that they look like ribbons on that grid. And if you want, you can make it so that the character on the blue one is less crazy and less likely to annihilate itself. Basically make the game harder. I want the blue to be a true adversary, but not easy. Okay, well, that was actually a really creative way to get it to look 3D, but still keep it in HTML. It just found a way to rotate the whole canvas. That kind of creativity, I think, is actually quite impressive because it knows the constraints, like, HTML is not the right format to do 3D stuff in, and it knows that. But it still came up with a cool, creative 3D way of approaching the problem I gave it. So good job, ChatGPT. GPT-5. Great work. And that's all we got for the stream today. I'm going to keep trying to make stuff. If I have some cool examples, I'll put them up here on Instagram. But that's all for now. All right, thanks. Peace.